we're back to the biggest story from Africa's most populous and biggest economy. Nigeria's 2017 fiscal appropriations assumed on a number of parameters as presented Wednesday by President Muhammadu Buhari. Some of these include oil price target of $42.50 in the new year, an oil production target of 2.2 million barrels per day. The budget also makes provisions for amnesty for militants, amounting to 65 billion. That's higher by 25% over the previous year. Let's get some perspectives into this with Disola Sumanu, who is a research analyst at Financial Derivatives Company here in Lagos. Sumanu, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, both.
Yeah, I'm sure if you listened in about 15 minutes ago, Gami Noyane from EcoBank in London says she's a little bit uncomfortable with the oil price target, $42.50, and the output, 2.2 million barrels per day, in 2017 budget, presented 24 hours ago by President Buhari. Do you agree or disagree?
I disagree. I think the oil price target of $42.5 per barrel is realistic. I think it is brilliant, given that the current prices are about $55 per barrel, and then the forecast for 2017 is that the oil price would reach about $60 per barrel for H1. So I think that it is brilliant. I think that it's good to be conservative with the oil price forecast. But for the production, I think that we are still with the same rhetoric. Last year was 2.2 million barrels per day the year before, but we have not met that. In fact, year to date, average production is about 1.59 million barrels per day, and at the peak was about 1.7 million barrels per day. So I think 2.2 is unrealistic, but the price for 2.5 is very, very realistic.
Would you? I expect you economists and analysts to disagree all the time. That's what economy and market is all about. So that's understandable. However, if this budget was set at the same price of oil as at 2016, $38 a barrel, how would you feel?
I think the 38 will not be a good representation of the market reality. I think that even though 38 will not be a good representation of market reality, but the spread between the current price and the benchmark will be some form of accretion to excess crude accounts, provided that our production props up, our production increases, provided that the amnesty deal and then the talks with the Niger Delta militants brings about some form of peace in that region, so that we can see our production increase and then we can see some accretion to the excess crude accounts.
A very quick one, and the last one. As we speak, the Deputy Minister for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Kachiko, is signing the deal with the IOCs, international oil companies, regarding the exit of the Nigeria from the JV cash calls. What's your view on this historic and significant day for Nigeria, cancelling joint venture cash calls been in existence for 10, 20, 30 years and more?
I think it's a brilliant development. I think that signing this deal will remove the financial burden on Nigeria, the immediate financial burden on the government to service these cash calls, and it will free up funds for other infrastructure projects. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think it's very good. It's an historic day in Nigeria.
You say it's a brilliant idea. Thank you very much. Yeah. A very brilliant comment from Disola Sumoni, who is a research analyst at Financial Derivatives Company here in Lagos. Thank you for your time today. Okay, 24 hours ago, Nigeria's debt office sold about 95 billion naira worth of sovereign papers at the last auction for 2016. The central bank also held a primary market auction of treasury bills close to 150 billion naira. Let's chat to this market offerings in the week with Oladipo Adeoye. She is a fixed income dealer with the UBA Group in downtown Marina. Joins us via telephone. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming through on the program.
Hello, good afternoon.
Thank you very much. The debt auction by the DMO on one hand, the central bank primary auction on the other hand. Talk to us about these two offerings in the week so far. How are the yields tapering out, moving along these corridors?
Okay. In terms of the reaction in the market today, despite the slight upward move at the auction, what we've experienced today, especially on the bond side, is a bullish activity, which is different from the expectation, looking at the fact that the movement of the primary auction. But interestingly, we are seeing demand and we are seeing the bullish trend in the market today.
bullish trend at the market today in terms of where is this bullish sentiments coming from? The long end, the midterm, or the short end of the papers that we have listed?
What we've seen is buying across the longer end of the curve for the debt instruments. For the T-bills, we've seen relatively stable activity with slight purchases, but there's aggression on the bond side. We are seeing players buy aggressively in the market, especially on the long term.
Yeah, very quickly, and this is the last one. Adeoye, what's the market saying about the 2017 budget and inflation data that came in early today in 30 seconds?
Ideally, looking at inflation, one would expect that you should be inching up to reflect that activity or that inflation. However, what we see today is the reverse, where we're seeing buying activities in the market, which clearly shows that there's some level of discounting of whatever happens at the inflation level, and there's no expectation of a decline in inflation going into next year. That is what is being reflected in the market today.
Thank you so much. Adeoye, fixed income dealer at the UBA Group. South Africa's rand touched a near two-week low against the dollar today as a broad-based emerging market sell-off continued a day after the U.S. Federal Reserve raised interest rates and signaled further policy tightening. The rand falls to 14.01 on the greenback, the weakest level since December the 2nd, before clawing back to 13.95, still down slightly from Wednesday's closing level of 13.93. The government bonds fall across the curve in sympathy with the currency. Yields on 10-year benchmark rises 11 basis points to 9.04%. The South African rand has, however, appreciated 11% against the dollar since the beginning of 2016, propped up by investors' appetite for higher yields across emerging markets assets. Namibia's consumer inflation was unchanged at 7.3% year-on-year in November compared with the previous month. That's the latest data from the Statistics Office, saying inflation on a month-on-month basis slowed to 0.2% from 0.5% in the previous month. Meanwhile, the country's economy shrunk by 0.1%. That's in the third quarter of 2016. That compares with a contraction of 1.2% in the second quarter of 2016. The big story today, of course, is Nigeria's signing the exit of the joint venture cash calls, currently in arrears of close to $6 billion. We have details of that in our bulletin and in the next edition of the program, Business Incorporated. I am Bosin Omofaye, and I'll see you again. Do have a great day.